Hello and welcome to the online graduate practicum forum for spring 2016. I am Roman Villarreal and I am a graduate student in the Masters of Science of Interdisciplinary Studies candidate and in the Department of Occupational Workforce and Leadership Studies at Texas State University. The title of my practicum was Leadership, Becoming a Better Leader. The purpose of my proposed practicum was for me to learn the and learning how to become an effective leader. I did my professional practicum at Light Harvest Communities in San Marcos, based out of San Marcos, Texas. The learning objectives were how to find the right salespeople for a team, how to develop relationships with sales team members, how to find good leaders and help run a successful business, how to learn to better invest in employees, whether it be with time, money, or training. Some of the practicum highlights, first of all, the first one was asking Mr. Hill for the professional practicum. Mr. Hill is about 10 years younger than me, and he's already a CEO of his own company, and a very well respected man. And so it was a bit humbling to ask him for the practicum, and ask him, if he would allow me to do so. He was super open to it and really nice about it. Didn't make me feel that I was not worthy or anything. I thought he was, super open and said whatever I needed, he'd help me. Second was kind of shocking, was learning that the company was moving. They did have a building at one time, and they're in the process of building a new building. And so there's only a few employees that work in the office. Most of the other ones work out of the office. So this was going to be kind of different for me, being that I was going to learn with some of the people that were going to be working out of home. But they were very helpful in allowing me to meet in different places, libraries and coffee shops, to go over the things that I needed to go over and to learn the things that I needed to learn. And then lastly, being asked to join the team. I was a bit late with turning in my last blog, and that was because during the spring break, Mr. Hill was gone to Michigan, and I wasn't able to sit down with him at all and really close out my practicum. But in returning on Monday, we sat down, and I was able to tell him my findings and how the practicum completely went and all that kind of stuff. And it was really funny because he handed me this box, which is, I don't know, a smaller box, and he said, go ahead and open it. And so I opened it, and inside was my business card with my name and title, the title of project manager, and the offer to join the team. We kind of chuckled a little bit together. He's like I said, he's a very nice guy, and I said I almost thought he was proposing, and we both kind of chuckled. But it was very humbling to know that he respected everything that I had done, liked what I had done, and wanted me to be a part of his team. Three of the books that I really wanted to highlight, as far as literature highlights, I didn't know where to start with these. I had heard of books here and there, but what I did was I really asked my practicum supervisor if he could recommend some books to me, so that I can learn and be a better person. And he said, sure. And the next day he came with a list of about 20 books. So I didn't need that many, but I do have the list. But I picked 3 of them that really stood out to me and that I read quite a bit of. And the first one was Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of the things that really stuck out to me in this book was when you're a leader, if you do something wrong, admit it, own up to it. I think a lot of leaders that I've had in the past shy away from that, and I think that's the, people know whether it's right or wrong, and I think they, figure it out, and that's when you lose those leadership credibilities and the respect that you had, from those people. So I think, he says it perfect when he says, this is the best way to do it. If you did something wrong, own up to it. The next book that I was very excited about was John C. Maxwell's book on 5 levels of leadership. He talks a lot about just different ways, different levels of how to be a leader. And the last one, the one that is the top of that board is that struck me the hardest was the pinnacle. Pinnacle is when people follow you because they know what you stand for, and they know that they want to follow you because that's the kind of person you are. And I think when you when people follow you because of that one reason, I think that's the best way to gain followers. And you want people to follow you, and you don't want them to follow you because of the wrong reasons. And the last one was another John C. Maxwell book, Self-Improvement 101. I think this book struck me the most, out of all 3 books, probably the most important, because it was more about self-improvement on myself, and which is really the whole idea behind my practicum was I've been a leader before, but I wanted to become a better leader. And one of the sections that he talks about was Secret of Becoming a Lifelong Learner. I think often, and what he talks about is we get into a leadership role and we forget about learning more, and we act like we already know everything. And he talks about always learning, always being a lifelong learner, and talks about how to do that. And those are the 3 books. In my SWOT reflections, I felt like that my strength during the practicum, one of my strengths, was being a quick learner. It was pretty funny because of the things that I wanted to learn, I had no experience in. And so when going through a lot of the steps with the employees under Mr. Hill, they were just super nice, and I said I have no experience, and one of the things that one of the ladies said was, no experience is required. Don't worry about it. We'll show you what to do. And by the end of the day, she was like, yeah, you picked up this stuff pretty quick. And I think that was one of my strengths, was being able to learn everything pretty quickly. Weakness. What I learned during my weakness is that it's okay to be terrible at some things. And the reason I say that is I'm terrible at a lot of things, but I think if you use your weakness as a learning opportunity and you learn from it and you turn your weakness into a strength, um, well, it's no longer a weakness. And I think I look at it as, if you're weak in an area and you know it, stop hiding it, learn from it, and make it a strength. And that's kind of what I focused on a lot during my practicum. Opportunity, doing it for the right reasons. What I mean by it is taking this practicum seriously. I'll tell you that during my undergraduate, I didn't take the opportunity of doing my practicum and internship seriously, and I didn't take the opportunity to shine and to make the best of the practicum. And so this time, I learned from my mistakes, and I really wanted to take the opportunity to do everything to the best of my ability and to show just really what I was made out of, and opportunity to shine. And because of that, I was offered a job. So one of the threats that I felt was probably the toughest for me was starting a new career later in life. I'm gonna be 40 years old this year, and it was pretty hard starting from scratch. I mean, I am getting a master's, but at the same time, I'm starting a new career. You know, being a military guy, you leave all of that behind, and you try to start something new. And you know, that was probably the biggest threat I felt, was being so old, starting something new. But the thing that really got me through it is believing that I can do it, and that nothing can hold me back as long as I feel like I can do it. Future plans, well, project manager is at the top of the list there, and that's because I've been offered that position with Light Harvest Communities in San Marcos, and so pretty excited about getting started with them in May. I have looked at other jobs and things that I'd like to do, and government relations liaison was one of them, basically working for state agencies as a government relations person, and really going out there and being that liaison between the government, federal government or state government, and the state agency. And then last but not least, one of the things that I hold dear to my heart that I feel like is very important that we don't do enough of is leadership training and development. I think leaders they're not just born leaders. They need training and they need development. And I think that part of my practicum for me was leadership training and development, really training on what I needed to know and the development of being a better leader. And that's something that I would like to pass on to others, and build better leaders for the community and for other organizations. Comments and questions on the YouTube page below. Please indicate your anonymous preference for this practicum by clicking one of the two icons, like or dislike. Also, please post your comments or questions in the YouTube comment section below. I will respond to your inquiries posted between August 6th and 17th through this web page. Thank you.